Am I old, Vortex? You see my whiskers? You see my meth mouth? Totally have a meth mouth. Let's talk about bad things about my physical appearance. Let's talk about how ugly my teeth are. I've never taken good care of myself. And the reason why is because I don't really feel like that feminine. I feel like it's more of a feminine thing to like details. Like we were saying about details. Like it can work out in women's favor if they pay attention to details and they know like what colors look good with other colors and they know, you know, like how to do their hair and how to apply makeup right and all that. And that can be good for them, especially if they're going to find a mate. But, you know, I never wanted a mate. So, case in point, this is my mate right here, okay? You said that soulmates don't exist? That's bullshit. That's bullshit. This fucking branch is my soulmate, motherfucker. I don't care how silly that sounds. And people that don't have that love for nature and that understanding that they're like part of the earth and they can experience space and time in the blink of an eye, like all that stuff is so important to our existence, and we're like more cognizant of these things because we're not pursuing stuff that we think is going to satisfy us that probably won't. Now I think that human beings are social beings and they want companionship and they want to fuck and they want, and you gotta say it just like that, okay? They don't want to make love, okay? When love is love is love is love is love is love is love. Love is love is love is love is love is love is love. When you say it like that, that strongly suggests, whether you realize it or not, that you could just call anything love, okay? Well, you'd have a problem with me loving this tree because I don't want to have sex with it. I'm not a dendrophiliac, even though dendrophiliacness is something I could understand. Well, you don't have to fuck the tree when the tree's inside of you, baby. Right? Right? Very true. But yeah, it's like I'm my own best friend, I'm my own lover, I'm my own companion, and I think that this solitude is something that cannot be compared to anything else, really. I mean, I've been really in love, man. I've been really in love and so happy, but it's like the whole time I was like, this is gonna end soon. Like, I'll get excited about somebody, I'll like them. You know, when you like somebody, that's way better than being in love, but it's also way more nerve-wracking. Well, like, I'm a very extreme person, if you couldn't tell, and, oh, I smell pot. Somebody's smoking pot. Who is it? I wonder if it's that bitch with the dog. Well, that'd be cool if she was coming out here to take a walk with her dog and then she started smoking some weed. Yeah, I used to do that shit too. Don't let anybody steer you wrong. If you feel compelled to get high, think about it like this. It really is like an elevation. And if you understand that, it's not a problem. I think that people that are like recreational about it, like they're not getting anything out of it mentally, you know? I'd always enjoy the places where I'd go because it would make sense out of the places I've already been, all right? Like, you don't have to understand that, just like you don't have to understand my relationship with God. It's not something I can explain logically. And definitely the Holy Trinity, don't even try to explain that. Because you either get it or you don't. And it's not something you can just explain. It's not objective, okay? It sounds like a damn acid trip. And people, not a damn acid trip, I'm sorry. An amazing acid trip, like the best acid trip that you never want to end. That's Christianity for you, okay? Like, Jesus is like, dude, what are you worried about? I got this. I got this for you. I got this for you. Now all you got to do is leave the world behind. That's all you got to do. But it's totally worth it. Because if you can increase your reliance on the Lord and you expand that relationship with your Creator, it's just amazing. Like the stuff that you can appreciate and accept, and it's like the whole social programming of like, I have to be with somebody because I'm a woman and that's what I'm supposed to do. This is not a feminist rant, okay? Not a feminist rant. I would rather be alone. Because it's like, I get all this. See, if I were with somebody, I wouldn't be able to do this. And if you weren't with me, Vortex, I'd still be doing it. And that's the problem that I have with the internet and social media and the constant documentation of everything. Snapchat, what's that other one? TikTok? TikTok, right? TikTok, holy shit, TikTok. So there's that. But I'm sure there are many other ones that I don't even know about. But it's like, people do this stuff, and it's like, it totally replaces just our ability to just come out here and do this without cameras, without, you know, a recording of it. Like, I'm doing this for you, y'all. I'm not doing this for me. People that go on the internet for them are everything that's wrong with this world. I'm just telling you. Why are you giving all this time and attention to narcissists? Social media is for narcissists. Not all of them. There are a bunch of people that are decent people, but I feel like even the good people can be taken down. It's so easy. So it's like with alcohol, let's get back to that. If you were drinking alcohol, if a normal average person that has no issue with chemical dependency, if they were to drink too much alcohol, they would get drunk. Okay? So they still experience the negative effects even if they're not an alcoholic. That is exactly what is happening to everyone that uses this technology. They're still being negatively impacted by it even though they're not dependent on it that way. Is that a good metaphor? I hope so, damn it. We need to go inside. This is of course taking way longer than we had originally anticipated. I mean, it's fun. It's fun. Yes. So according to Jungian psychology, is that how you pronounce his name? I hope. It doesn't matter, does it? Oh, I hate it when I get boogers. And see, I don't care. I'll just fucking pick them. Like I've said, you're allowed to pick your ears. You know, you got gunk in your ears, you're allowed to pick that shit out. You're allowed to stick objects in your ears. You're allowed to fucking wipe your eyes. But it's like, if you have an issue, dude, she is smoking pot. I know she is. I just saw her take a drag. Old bitch doing drugs. It's good. It's a good thing. That's all we got right now. It's just drugs, right? Everything's on its way out. But why is that a problem? Maybe it wasn't supposed to remain. There's somebody that watches my videos that loves the fact that I do different colored shoes. I don't know if he has like a Converse fetish. I'm sure that's a thing. I'm sure he just wants his bitch to wear nothing but Chuck Taylors, right? Right? That would be a decent porn. That's like hipster porn right there. Hipster porn, what would we play in the background? The Velvet Underground or some shit? Be like, hey man, you like Lou Reed? Do you like Lou Reed? I love Lou Reed. I really should play more Lou Reed, but yeah, we're gonna go with Billy Joel for the time being. But yeah, man. Just think about it. I'd like you to ponder this in regards to social media, and it'll probably open your eyes to the fact that it's not a good thing, and if it's not a good thing, you probably shouldn't do it. You should avoid it at all costs. So, I mean, you don't have to take my advice. I don't really care. Like, this is my unsolicited advice that I feel like my ego tells me that I'm allowed to spew this unsolicited advice because this is my art. This is my art. You don't understand. You don't understand. It's my art. Okay. This is my thing that I do. Okay. So I always wish I had a lisp. I don't know why, but I think the lisps are like really sexy. Maybe that's why I track gay men. I don't know. I don't mean that as a slur, by the way. It's just something I've noticed. And all these men that are apparently heterosexual are talking like that. So obviously, and this is me like giving gays an understanding as to why they are the way that they are, and the rest of the world that hates on gay people because that they're gay, because that they're gay. You know what I mean, okay? You know what I mean. I'm just getting passionate. The reason why is because of the stuff that they're taking that's changing their hormones, okay? So I don't think it's mental as much as it is physiological, actually. But I do think that the whole mental thing is how they're controlling everybody. But it's so much easier to control their mental state if you give them a piece of technology that constantly reinforces whatever delusion they're experiencing. And most of these delusions are brought on by the world. Most of these delusions are because of all of the propaganda that they receive through the education system, through mass media, through celebrity culture. That professors having them read all these Marxist books. Okay, I know, like I can show you some of the stuff that I still have from a women's studies course that I took. Because I shit you not, I took this women's studies course not realizing that it was just feminist propaganda, but I really was hoping to understand why women are so crazy. So I was thinking women's studies, maybe we're studying women in hopes to like fix them. But it's actually the opposite. It's no, we're studying the culture so we don't have to study women. We're bitching about the culture so that women will always have something to complain about. Because it doesn't matter how much change that they want to implement. And I don't completely disagree with all of them either. Like y'all know, I'm an anarchist, so naturally I love the fuck out of Emma Goldman. But, I mean, if you talk to people that are like really left, like the last thing that they want is anarchy. Okay, they want everything to be totally controlled. So it's interesting that people want to say, oh, this is anarchy, Antifa. No, Antifa is controlled anarchy, which is not anarchy. Okay? Once again, propaganda. They want y'all to keep fighting, and they want y'all to keep focusing on like things that are not relevant to what the real problems are, okay? Like I said, if you spend less time on your phone, if everybody spent less time on their phone, they deleted an app or two. I'm not saying get rid of it, okay? I know y'all are very attached. You're very attached, okay? But just spend less time on it. Everybody can do that. It's not that fucking hard, dude. Just find 1 hour that you spend on your phone, do something else. But I understand, though, from the addiction perspective of, like, yeah, you can't just, like, have several hours a day where you don't do that. I mean, like, when as a drunk, I wanted to be drunk all the time, you know? But the difference was alcohol wasn't making me think all these things about myself that I wasn't even aware of. Because I was always super aware of the fact that I was playing that role of, like, degenerate slutbag! You know? That's the role that I wanted to play for whatever fucking reason. But I mean, I fell victim to that propaganda, you know? And I wasn't that heavily indoctrinated into it, but I still fell victim to that shit because I chose to be a victim. I chose to put myself in situations where I was more likely to get hurt. I wish that more women would realize that, because if they did, they wouldn't subject themselves to this culture in any form or fashion. They want to get the fuck out of it. And they definitely would avoid the internet. But I have to do this because God wants me to do it. But I can't do it in their way, because if I do it in their way, they win. Now, if I end up on TikTok, I end up on TikTok, but it's not going to be because of me. There's so many people in Nashville that know who I am because of Instagram. I don't even have a fucking Instagram. Other people keep posting me. Rare Amy Gross sighting. It's really not, though, because I've been coming out way more. Like, I try to come out every single week. Like, I have not missed a week. No, that's not true. You missed a week, I don't know, maybe like a month and a half ago. But, I mean, you have been pretty good about it. But just, yeah, that 1 week, you were like, no, fuck it. Yeah. Well, it's like, if I say fuck it one night, I try to go the next night. But I don't want to get burned out on it either. Because I tend to get burned out on it. But if I bomb, dude, I do really well the next time. Or if I feel like I bomb, like, I notice that. Like, I'll talk about that, and then I'm literally predicting my own future. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy that occurs within less than a day. So I'll talk about that, like how, oh, it's good for a comic to bomb, and then, like, I'll bomb that night, from my understanding. But it's really important to say things that people don't understand and keep saying them. And I know it probably sounds like a cope whenever, like, I say something and they don't get it, and I'm like, it's fine, I'm brilliant, you know? That just sounds like kind of a cope. I understand. It's better than self-deprecation, I don't care. It's way better than self-deprecation. It's the opposite of self-deprecation. It's self-appreciation. You're going, I don't need you to agree with me, I agree with me. You don't have to like that joke. I like that joke. I understand that joke. God understands that joke. You will never be better than God.